Hello YouTube. Thought I'd give you a little update on some of the other vehicles since it's been so long since I've made any videos here, and I've actually done quite a bit of work on everything. So this is the 63 Oldsmobile Dynamic 88. As you can see, probably the last set of videos I did was probably redoing the brakes on everything. So now I've got the new finished wheels, refinished wheels. It's got brand new tires, some nice little white walls on there. Actually looks pretty good. Pretty good stance. I did redo the spare too, and I actually stuck the old original bias ply tire back on it because it's actually in pretty good shape. Not to use as a spare, but just throw it in the trunk so it looks, you know, original or whatever. I have not thrown the center caps on yet. I got to finish polishing them up a little bit, but the main thing that kind of stopped me on this now is everything was good. The last step I had was to find the transmission leak, so I crawled under there and actually looked for the transmission leak, and it looks like it's coming from between the engine and the transmission. These don't have a torque converter, they have a fluid coupler, so it's got a little bit more room up between there, and you can kind of look up in there real good. And it looks like I'm going to have to pull the transmission out, which is kind of a bummer. I really don't want to dig into it, but I'm going to step back for a little bit on this project. God, that looks good, doesn't it? Isn't that cool? I think I'm going to try and roll the Fairlane out of the shop this winter. And I think I'll try and do the transmission in the shop. That should save me some heartache, and I really don't want to climb around on the gravel in there, and especially in the middle of winter. That's just doesn't sound fun at all. Trying to pull the transmission out of this thing, Jesus. So that's your update on this. I can't think of anything else I've done to this. Did I make a video of... I don't think I've made a video of actually, I got the gas tank back in it, and it's got its own gas, and the engine does run on its own now, off its own fuel tank, and it runs pretty good. I just can't drive it around because of the transmission. So I'll have to save that video for a later time. But, you know, nothing's changed. Still got the high compression 394. So hopefully later this winter we'll make some progress on this. Oh, Jesus. The hood hinge is broken. Ugh. I guess this would be one of the biggest updates I've had. I traded in the old Vortec Max Silverado. That old one was a old one. The last one was a 2008 Chevy Silverado, Vortec Max. It was two-wheel drive, and I was done with two-wheel drive. I really wanted four-wheel drive, and I went kind of big. So I picked up a Ram 3500, brand new, 2017, blah, blah, blah. Here's a long bed. She's so long. It's got the Cummins. I wanted the Aisin transmission, so we got that, which is the only reason I went up to a 1-ton, just so I can get that transmission. It's really, I mean, it's just a truck to me. I don't know. I like it. It's cool. I can give you a look inside. It's nothing fancy. I start with the base model. I got the Tradesman, so it's got black bumpers, which I actually wanted, because I could not stand the chrome bumpers on these things. So I got the black bumpers, black grille. I did not want anything extra that I didn't want, you know, so it's a very bare truck, and I like it that way. I prefer it. I actually had a hard time finding this vehicle. I looked quite often, and I actually had to go pretty far to buy it. I went all the way out to Idaho to buy it. So some of my requirements were, it had to be 1-ton, so I get the Aisin transmission. God, what was it? It had to be a Tradesman because I wanted black bumpers and black grille. It had to have the manual shifting transfer case, which is that knob down there. I just absolutely did not want the knob on the dash to get into four-wheel drive. And I had to have roof lights. I had to have the clearance lights. To me, if I'm getting a truck this big, it's got to have clearance lights just because it looks cool in my book. So I think those are my only requirements. Oh yeah, I had to have some sort of a backup camera or backup assist of some sort, just because you can't see off the back of these things, and I have to park in tight parking lots every single day. So this truck had everything I needed. There's nothing extra. I guess the only thing extra was had like a cold weather package, which just comes with a little bra that goes over the grill, you know, for the cold weather and the diesels and all that stuff. So that was no big deal. It was like $100 option, whatever. But the only thing the truck was missing was it didn't have the backup camera and it didn't have the roof lights. So I actually had the dealer install the roof lights and the backup camera. And the backup camera, when you add it in, it's still a factory I guess you call it a factory add-on. It actually displays up in the rear view mirror there. So it's kind of cool. I like it. It's a great truck. And then the, you know, they have to replace the little bezel and they put the little camera in the tailgate handle there. One thing I've done to this thing since I've had it is I installed the rubber bed mat. I decided I didn't want to go with the spray-in liner this time. I'm not really sure why. I wanted something softer on the floor, so I figured I'd get the bed mat. I can always do the spray-in later if I really want. And I did add the little vent visors above the windows. My next plans are level kit, 35-inch tires. I'm going to do a headache rack, and maybe I'll do a little something on the front, like a push bar or something. But that's about it. I don't really plan on doing a whole lot to this truck. It's just a cool... It's like my big rig. I just like driving it. And just since we're making updates, not a whole lot's going on here. As we walk out to the shop, you'll see there's GMC Jimmy parts laying everywhere. If you follow Pearson BA350, we've been doing quite a bit of work on his Jimmy over there. So that's about... I'll let you go over to there to get all his updates, but you can see it's engine compartment's all getting cleaned up and painted, and underneath that blanket's a very pretty looking little 350 Chevy with some nice little goodies added to it. The reason I came out here is to show you the Fairlane. I actually worked on the Fairlane. What I have done is I finally finished painting, underside of the chassis here, and I actually installed suspension. Oh god, I'm sore. I hiked a mountain yesterday. Oh, I'm so sore. So, this has most of the new stuff that I've bought. It's got brand new control arms. Those are the old spindles. Upper control arms new. I mean, everything from the... I forget what they call these deals. It's like a bushing spring mount setup that sits on top of the control arm. All that's new. New shocks. Springs are brand new. Those are lowering springs. I'm not sure how low it's going to sit. Yeah, the strut rods were refinished, but they've got all new bushings up there. Those are actually nicer energy suspension polyurethane deals. So the Fairlane is actually moving forward. I've got a pile of parts sitting out here. I do have to get... Oh god, I can't stand up. I got the disc brake conversion that I need to work on next once I get motivated to work on it again. But yeah, it's just slowly coming along. It's kind of nice to finally put all these parts on that I bought, geez, 4 or 5 years ago probably. There's probably videos on YouTube of me getting all these parts back when I was at the last house, when I did all the sandblasting and painting of the engine compartment. So yeah, it felt good to finally make some progress on it. This one here, I'm going to try and get the brakes on, and I'm actually going to put it on wheels, and I just want to roll it out of the shop, and that's where I'm going to bring Oldsmobile in here to hopefully do the transmission in here, just so I have a nicer place to do that. And then the Fairlane will just have to sit outside for a while, but she'll be fine. Jeez, I don't know what else it's been so long since I made a video. I don't know if I did a video of... I actually picked up a Ford 9-inch housing for the Fairlane. I'm pretty sure it's got the right width and everything. It might be a factory Fairlane housing. I'm not really sure yet. It should bolt right up. It's not the big bearing 9-inch. The big bearing is the real strong one. But I'm not really worried about that right now. I just need to get something better in there than the 8-inch. And then it does have a center section here that came with it. It's nothing fancy, it's just an open diff. I forget what the gears are, like 320 something gears maybe. I am gonna, when I build this, I don't know what I'm gonna do for gears yet. Probably 373, 410 area, somewhere around there. Keep it up there a little bit. It'll definitely need a limited slip or something. It's not the fancy nodular center housing or anything like that. So yeah, there's a good update for that. So that concludes a little update video, so you guys know what I've been up to. Feel free to comment. Let me know if you. God, it's hard to hold this thing level. I always want to go the opposite direction. Feel free to let me know if you want me. I don't know. You want to see something? You want me to work on something? Whatever. I'm open for suggestions. Trying to get back into this YouTube thing. Hopefully, with enough likes and shares and all the views and all that dumb stuff that YouTube makes you do. Hopefully I can afford a new camera, because I really hate this camera. I want a different camera. Please help me out.